So Donald Trump says he's delayed major new strikes on Iran's energy sites for 5 days after productive conversations with Tehran. But Iran's parliament speaker has denied any discussions have taken place, calling it fake news. One senior Iranian official, though, has said points have been received from the US through mediators and that they're being reviewed. Those points received as a potential precursor to talks. Trump, though, still saying much more than that has already happened.
We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Well, International Affairs Editor Kethevane Gorjestani is joining me here on set. Kethevane, what details do we have then about these supposed talks between the US and Iran? It all seems very confused.
Yes, because we don't even know if those talks are actually happening the way Donald Trump has described them, because Iran denies that talks are currently being held, though they have said that they had received a request from the United States, but that there had been no actual negotiations held just yet. Trump, for example, also refused to say whom the U.S. was actually talking to, though a lot of people have pointed to Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, who is the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament. On the United States side, the idea would be to have the usual suspects, Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. There could be possible meetings in the coming days within that 5-day time frame, and they could see another person join on the U.S. side, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, though no confirmation from the White House, and the White House insisted that all the speculation will not be final until the White House actually confirms that something is happening. The big question would be, where would these talks happen? And it seems to be pointing to the possibility of having those talks in Pakistan. Why Pakistan? Well, because first of all, most of the countries that are the usual mediators between Iran and the United States are in the Gulf, and they're currently being attacked and on the defensive, especially when it comes to Iran. Pakistan also has good relationships with both the United States and with the Iranians, and we've learned that over the last few days, the Pakistani Prime Minister spoke to the President of Iran, and Donald Trump spoke to the Pakistani military chief. So there's been some conversations there. The major question really that is left is Trump telling the truth when he says that there's so many points of agreements already? Or is that just bluff? Is that simply Donald Trump blustering a little bit and talking about the points that they want to discuss? Because right now it doesn't seem that there is any sort of agreement between the Iranians and the Americans.
Yeah, more potential blustering. I mean, first of all, we talked about 48-hour delay. Now it's a 5-day hold, isn't it? I mean, is this a U-turn by Donald Trump on Iran?
Well, look, there could be reasons for Donald Trump to try to get out of this war. We have seen that the Americans have been a little bit surprised at the Iranian willingness to actually go with the escalation. You threaten us, we'll threaten you back, and we're ready to go all in. The second thing is the fact that gas prices are going up in the United States. There's pressure because this war is unpopular at home. All reasons to try to end quickly, but at the same time, when you have blurry war objectives, it's hard to claim a big victory. If you have a negotiated deal with the Iranians, you can come out of there and say, look, we have a deal with the Iranians, I won. But there's also the question of whether or not this is actually a U-turn. First of all, we've seen Donald Trump throw around deadlines for the past year or so I wouldn't have focused too much on the 48 hours in the first place. Then there's the question of the timing. And when you look at what the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament put out, he said, fake news is used to manipulate financial and oil markets and escape the quagmire in which the U.S. and Israel are trapped. And it is true that after Donald Trump's announcement, the markets sort of calmed down a little bit. Oil prices went down a little bit. It might not last, but there is clearly some impact from Donald Trump's words. And finally, there are those who believe that maybe Donald Trump didn't do a U-turn at all, and he's simply buying time. Last week, he ordered even more Marines to join the Middle East. So now we're up to 5,000 Marines on their way to the Middle East to join the 50,000 troops already there. And the Iranians know all too well that negotiating with the Americans doesn't mean you're not going to get bombed. They saw it on February 28th, and they saw it last summer before the 12-day war.